Hi, my name is Garnet, and I was inspired by the Winter Olympics of 2018 to create this hat from the Olympic athlete Chloe Kim. I created a tutorial, so I hope you have fun making this hat with me, and then you can wear it and smile as if you had won the gold medal. Let's begin our tutorial. To make our hat, we're going to need some tools. Here's a tapestry needle. We're going to need one of those. The hook that I'm using is a size I, a 5.5 millimeter hook. Pair of scissors, and for this hat I will be using Red Heart Fiesta in the color Wheat. To begin making our hat, I always like to start with a tail before I put my slip knot in, so I'm suggesting that you have an 8-inch tail, and then to make a slip knot we're going to wrap it around our fingers, take the hook, go through, pick up the thread, and then with the tail, pull it tight. And now that we have a loop on our hook, we're going to pull so that it snugs up right here on the hook. To begin, we're going to chain 32. So pull your yarn over, pull it through, and that will make a chain. So far I have 3. Continue on, and I will meet you at the end of our chain. With 32 chains completed, we are going to go onto the back side of our chain. You'll notice that on the back they have these little bumps. This is where we're going to be inserting our stitches. So let's turn it back over so you can still count because of the little V shapes that we have here. We want to count down 2. Do not count the one on your hook. 1, 2, we're going to skip those 2. So this one right here, for our third one, let's turn it over, and you'll see the little bump right there in the middle. We're going to make a half double crochet, so let's yarn over the hook, insert it under that little bump, yarn over and pull up a loop. We have 3 on our hook, and let's pull it through, and that completes 1 half double crochet. Continue on down the row. We're going to continue with the half double crochet into the little bumps on the back of the chain. When you get down to the end, we should have 30 half double crochets. Here we have 30 half double crochets, and here we are at the end of the row. Chain 2 and turn your work over. So what we're going to do here to give it a ribbed knit look on the other side, we're going to go in between the top of the V's that's actually part of the post stitch at the bottom. Most people would think of it as a front post. We're not going around the post. we're going in between the stitches. So if you look at the top, you still have the 2 stitches here, but we're going to pick up in between. So you have the 1 stitch here, the 1 stitch here, and the post is down here. So let me show you how that's done. Yarn over. We're going to do like we're doing our half double crochet still. We're going to insert the yarn in the first hole here. We're going to go under and come up, yarn over and pick up, so we still have our 3, and pull it through. Let's try that one again. Now you're going to think, well, I just came out of this hole, I need to go to this one. No, we're going to go into this hole again. So let's go yarn over into that same hole, because it's like picking up this stitch here. But remember, we're not doing a front post. We're just doing, I guess you could call this the top stitch, the front top stitch. Does that sound right? So here we are making another half double crochet. Let's try it again. Into the same hole we just came out of. Well, not just the same hole, it's the other side. Go in, under there, pull up, and through. Get some more yarn. Okay, let's do it again. We're going to go in through the stitch, under that top stitch, pull up a loop, and complete. So this is what the front of your work is looking like. And you're thinking, why in the world are we doing this? Well, if you flip it over, can you see the knit stitch look? That's going to give a rib look when it's all completed. So keep on going to the end of the row. And when you get to the end of the row, I will meet you there and show you how to complete this row. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing the same stitch continuously for the rest. And this will give us the rib look for the hat. I'll meet you there. All right, here we are at the end of the row. You'll notice that you'll have 29 half double crochets, so we want to have 30. Well, remember the chain 2 that we did at the end of the row? We're going to do a half double crochet in the top of that chain 2. I like to pick up 2 stitches, so I try to grab 2 every time. I'm not a 1 stitch fan or 1 loop type fan. Okay, so that creates our 30, and you can see I did it right there at the top of the chain 2. So we're going to chain 2 again, and we're going to flip our work over, and you can kind of see that braid right there. It has like a little embossed feel to it. So to make this simple, we're going to do it again into the first hole, I guess you could say. We're going to pick up that top part of the stitch and do another half double crochet. I'm hoping that by now you have this down pat pretty good, because even though it was the first row, we're going to be doing it for quite a bit. This is our repeat. Let me show you what it looks like on the other side. You can see the ribbing again, or the knit stitch look. Okay, So as you get further along, I'll show you more. Continue this, and I'll meet you in a few minutes. I completed my second row. It's so soft. Okay, continue on, and what we're going to do is you want to measure your hat. This is how it will be. The top of your head is here. This will be by your eyes, so you can fold it up later. So we're going to measure it as you width around your head. So let's continue on, and I'll meet you when I have more rows completed. Thought I'd show you my progress. I have 14 rows done, and so far the width is at 5.5 inches. We need to make our strip for my head will be 21.5 inches or 22 inches, and that will go around my head. So for this length right here, we're going to do it around your head. The width this far is 8.25 inches. It's long enough so that when we fold it up, we'll still have a ribbed look here. So this is my progress so far, and I will meet you when I have a length of 21.5 inches. And you notice that it does have some pull, and I love the rib, the knit look that's in it here, even though it's crocheted. I'll see you then. I've been working on this thing for about 45 minutes. I have now reached 11 inches. That's my halfway point. So you can see how many rows I have here. I was sitting here thinking that as I've been crocheting on this, that everybody's been using a chunky yarn. I want to point out to you, remember that this is a worsted weight yarn. Let's see. They don't show it on this label, but it is a 4-ply worsted weight yarn. So this is not a chunky. So on the label, it should be a number 4. I don't see it on this particular one. So I should be done with this strip here pretty soon. Just wanted to give you a heads up as we're doing it. Remember to pause the video as you're crocheting along, and we will be at the end here very soon. Well, hello friends. I have gotten to the end. Looks like it's never going to stop, huh? So I have my 21.5 inches here. So what we're going to do is fold it in half, well, where the center is like in the center here. And at the end here, I'm going to leave a very, very long tail so that we can sew our end. So we cut this. I'm going to bring that tail through, and I'm going to close off the final stitch there. I know you're going to hear a dog in the backyard, in the background here. My neighbor's dog has been barking for the last half hour, and I thought it would finally stop, but it hasn't. So sorry about that. So let's thread our needle. And when I stopped this, I tried to make it so that it would have the knit stitch on the top so that it would look like it lines up right. So we're going to take two ends here, and we're going to stitch these together. I'm going to do is called the ladder stitch. Basically, you're going to be running it in and out of the stitches here. So we're going to go here. And see how the stitches line up right there? This tail from the other row, we'll go ahead and we'll take care of that later. But in the meanwhile, go ahead and do your ladder stitch, and I'll meet you down here at this end. Don't cut your yarn. We're going to use it to gather this here. All right, I guess you can kind of see where I sewed it right here. To kind of make it so that it all blends together, just pull it back a little, because I know you're going to have those problems, right? And snug your thread up just a little bit, and it looks like I can make it look straight again, like it's supposed to. Okay, so once you get to the end down here, what you want to do is do a little secure stitch to make it so that when we tighten the top here, it doesn't pull this string. So do a little whip stitch here. That'll lock that in place. Okay, now I'm right-handed, so I'm going to be going this way. But what you want to do is just make a long running stitch and go over and under. What I'm planning on doing is putting the stitches on top of my running stitch, so the stitches in between here will be under the running stitch. So let's do this all the way around, and I'll meet you right here. I have completed my running stitch, so let's go ahead and pull it so that we can gather this area right here. And you'll get a nice little circle here. But to lock that, I got it pulled tight, and I'm holding it with my left hand. I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to do a whip stitch here so it won't move on me. Okay, now to kind of hold it in place a little bit, let's do just a little bit of weaving stitch, and that'll help draw it in just a little bit closer. We will be putting a pom-pom on top of this, but we want to make sure that this stays a little secure. This is actually a fun and quick project to make, and I hope you listen to some music as you've created this like I do. All right, I think that'll be good enough. I'm going to draw the needle into the center and turn my hat inside out. And make a little knot here. To secure it. For the other tail that I have left down here, I'm going to go ahead and weave it in and out. I go in and out a couple of stitches And then I cut. Right. So here's our hat so far. Of course you can see the seam, but it'll be okay. Nobody's going to sit there and say, oh, I see where you sewed it together at. Let's show you how to make a pom-pom next. To make our pom-pom, let's get a piece of yarn here, the same yarn that we're going to use for the pom-pom, and make it about 14 or 16 inches and double it. Okay, and we're going to lay it right across the top of our piece of cardboard. And I guess I should have told you what the size of the cardboard is first. Sorry, I'm usually not this disorganized. So I cut the cardboard to 5 1/4 inches by 3 inches wide. Yours can be pretty much any size you want. I'm going to be going the long direction here. So take it and hold it, and make sure you keep these out of the wrapping, or if they do get caught in, at least you'll be able to see it. So let's go ahead and start wrapping. Doesn't have to be pretty. This is for our pom-pom. Now I'm going to wrap it quite a number of times. See what I mean? They get in the way every once in a while. That's okay. And till we have a nice little collection of yarn here, I'll just keep right on going. Gonna have a nice little shaggy pom-pom. Now you notice that I'm just pulling it from the skein and still wrapping. I'm not really counting, just going with what I think would be a nice thickness. Remember, it's going to be kind of long and kind of shaggy looking, so let's just keep on wrapping. Keep wrapping. Speed it up. Yeah, looks like I got it on fast forward, doesn't it? When you use 4-ply yarn, you kind of have to go a little bit more. Alright, that looks good to me. Okay, let's pull out our double strand here. Now I'm going to pull it up here to the top. Kind of make it so it'll fit in half. And we're going to tie an overhand knot just for right now, just a loose overhand knot. And take it off the cardboard. Now if you take the cardboard and bend it, it's okay. But if you plan to use it again, you might have to straighten it out some more. So we need to take the overhand knot and tie it as tight as we can. Just as tight as you can. Okay. Sometimes it'd be easier with a pom-pom maker, but I guess I'm doing the old-fashioned way, huh? There we go. Now if you want to make sure that it's really secure, you can go over it one more time. Okay. Oops. There we go. Alrighty. So all the stuff that's folded at the other end, take your scissors and cut away. Alright. Okay, so I'm I'm going to bring it back down. Whoops, my cut wasn't exactly half, was it? So we'll shape it a little here. Now this is not going to be a round one. This is just going to be a loose, floppy one, like this. And we're going to take our ties. Let me put my loose ends in the garbage first. Hang on a second. Nice clean workspace helps, doesn't it? Okay, so we're going to take our two tied ends here. And here I've already folded up the little lip on the hat. And you see how when you got the knit stitch on the top, it kind of pulls to the top when you gather it. It just looks a lot nicer and cleaner. So I'm going to take my hook and I'm going to go up here to the center, close to the center, and I'm going to pull through one to the inside of the hat, and I'm going to hold on to it, and then I'm going to take my second one here, go up to the other side, and I can't believe I did that. Yes, I did, didn't I? Now I got to find that other one I tied with. Here it is. There we go. You don't want to use one of the pom-pom ones because it'll probably fall off. And now we're going to pull it through. And then tie a nice little square knot. I usually do it 2 or 3 times to make sure it doesn't come apart. There we go. Cut your tails. Now, if you think it's a little too big and too floppy, we can always cut it some more. In fact, I think I'll do that. Yeah, some wasted yarn, but it'll be okay. So let's go ahead and cut off. There, that looks a lot better. And so here we have our crocheted hat that looks like the same hat from our Olympic winter sports winner, Chloe Kim. I hope you enjoy it. And thank you for watching.